Tag team wrestling has seen a resurgence as of late, with great tag teams on both the major brands, WWE and TNA, and the feeder brands for those guys coming up. I thought that means it's about time to bring you my thoughts on my top 10 favorite tag teams of all time. Number 10, American Alpha. It's been a while since I've been as excited about a new tag team as I am about Gable and Jordan. I liked Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger as a tag team when they broke up and Jason Jordan was looking for a new partner. I like how they brought Chad Gable in, pestering Jason every week. Let me be your partner. Jordan would find another partner. They'd go out and lose. Next week, Gable, I'm ready, willing, and Gable. Jordan and his partner lose. So when they finally got them guys together, you were just excited to see what they would do. And it was great. They've been one of the most exciting new tag teams down in NXT. Watching them win the tag belts at NXT TakeOver Dallas, you could just see how excited and how much they love this business and what a great thrill it was for them to win those belts. Them losing the belts, it's always kind of the bittersweetness of an NXT guy losing a belt is, if you really like them, you're like, they lost the belt. But that means they're probably going up to the main roster sometime soon. I'm thinking they'll bring them up sometime during the draft in the coming weeks. So there's that to look forward to. And I just can't wait to see what they do up on the main roster. They have garnered those, comparisons to the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, which is granted, they both, Jordan and Gable, have excellent amateur backgrounds. Jordan being on the wrestling team for IU, qualifying for the national tournaments every year he was with the team. Chad Gable actually making it to the Olympics in 2012. And I just can't wait to see what they do when they get up onto Raw or SmackDown and are given the chance to get those WWE tag belts, which I'm sure they will get eventually. Number 9, El Generico and Kevin Steen. For those of you who aren't familiar with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' work before they came to the WWE, you're missing out. What Zayn is El Generico, Kevin is Kevin Steen. When they tagged together, they were a just great tag team. They were Pro Wrestling Guerrillas World Tag Champs twice. In ROH, they were the one-time tag champs, beating the Briscoe brothers for those belts and having a great feud with those guys. And whenever you break up a great tag team, you can more than likely get a great feud. Guys are getting to see that on NXT and now up on the main roster, WWE. When they had their feud down in ROH back in 2010, Wrestling Observer Newsletter voted it their feud of the year. And it definitely was. If you guys get a chance, watch their Ladder Wars match together. But when they were a tag team, they were entertaining. KO as a face, if you guys haven't gotten to really see him, he is incredibly athletic for a guy his size. As a heel, he doesn't break out the moonsault the same time. All those high flashy moves, and that's by design. The inevitable face turn will come and you guys will get to see what an athlete that guy is. And I'm hoping that inevitably when they'll put them two together and we'll get to see some of their tag work again. I would really love to see that. Number 8, Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams. Granted, Terry Bam Bam Gordy is more well known for his tag work with the fabulous Freebirds, but the tag team he formed with Dr. Death Steve Williams was nothing short of amazing. Over in All Japan, they were the 5-time World Tag Team Champions for that company. They were a 1-time WCW World Tag Champs. And in 1992, both Pro Wrestling Illustrated and the Wrestler Observer newsletter gave them their Tag Team of the Year. Some tag teams are complementary, two different styles. Gordy and Williams were kind of the opposite, that they were both big, rugged individuals, no high flying, no flippity flips and finesse. They just go out there, punch you in the face, punch you in the face again, punch you in the face some more, and knock you down and beat you down. And they got great success out of just being two big, rugged guys who worked well together. Number 7, Beer Money. It was hard to imagine that when James Storm teamed with Bobby Roode to form Beer Money Incorporated, that he would have any better success than he did with Chris Harris in America's Most Wanted. But lo and behold, he did. Beer Money went on to be a 5-time TNA Tag Team Champions, holding the longest reign with that belt and the longest combined reigns with that belt. And Pro Wrestling Illustrated named them their Tag Team of the Year back in 2008 and 2011. I love the clash of not so much wrestling styles, but of character. James Storm, the Tennessee redneck, the beer swilling cowboy, and Bobby Roode, whenever they came into it, being kind of the businessman, the button down guy, and they just work so well together, and I enjoy seeing them together. Probably that team might be gone with Bobby Roode over in NXT right now. But James toyed with being in NXT for a little bit too, and he came back. So we'll see if we ever see Beer Money together again. I sure would like to see them in WWE. That would be something interesting. But for now, they're on hiatus, and we'll just have to wait to see if we ever get the Beer Money chant going again. Number 6, the Midnight Express. I was never really aware of the original Midnight Express with Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. When I talk about the Express, I'm talking about Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane, the team that had great feuds with the Rock and Roll Express, with the Road Warriors, those scaffold matches in the early years of Starrcade. Not great matches in my humble opinion, but they were spectacles, and any match with that level of danger always adds intrigue to feuds like they were having. Eaton and Lane were the NWA US Tag Champs on 3 occasions. They held the NWA World Tag titles on 1. And back in 1987, both Pro Wrestling Illustrated and the Wrestler Observer newsletter gave them Tag Team of the Year, with the newsletter giving them that accolade the following year as well. I've always said I was kind of an odd kid growing up. I loved heel tag teams, heel managers. I loved James E. Cornette leading those guys to the ring, just the flashiness of their ring attire, and just everything they did in the ring always entertained me as a kid. And to this day, when I watch their matches, I'm just thoroughly entertained by the Midnight Express. Number 5, The Outsiders. I was always a big fan of both Kevin Nash and Scott Hall as singles wrestlers, so when they went back to WCW and formed The Outsiders to form the NWO, I was really excited. And to see the success they had as a tag team and later on as singles wrestlers just always thrilled me. They were 6-time WCW Tag Team Champions over there, and whenever they went to TNA for that short stint, they garnered the TNA World Tag Team Champs once. Back in 1997, PWI gave them their Tag Team of the Year, and back in 2003, when they did their list of the best tag teams of the PWI years, the Outsiders were at number 40. I just always thrilled by those guys. Their size, their athleticism, especially Scott. And I'm so happy that Scott got his life together. Hopefully he'll have one more chance. I'd really like to see, just one more match out of him. Even just a Royal Rumble appearance would be, I know the fans would be excited. I, as a fan, would be just thrilled beyond belief. I really love the Outsiders. Number 4, the Road Warriors. The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. Call them what you will, Hawk and Animal were an amazing tag team. Visually stunning with the shoulder pads, the big spikes, physically intimidating. They were a joy to watch and a nightmare to be in the ring against. They held gold everywhere they went. AWA Tag Champs, NWA Tag Champs, 2-time WWE Tag Champs. And Pro Wrestling Illustrated named them their Tag Team of the Year 3 years running, from 83, 84, and 85, and once again in 1988. And when PWI did its tag teams of the PWI years, the Road Warriors were number 1. They were well deserving of that Hall of Fame induction they got from the WWE back in 2011. We're all sad that Hawk would not be around to see that. Animal is still wrestling to this very day. He's actually done a couple of shows for our local NWA affiliate, Circle City Wrestling. And if Hawk was still around, imagine that even the youngest of the young guys would be intimidated if the music hit and the first thing they heard was, "Oh, what a rush." Number 3, the Dudley Boyz. The Dudley Boyz are the most decorated tag team in wrestling history. 9-time WWE World Tag Team Champions, 8-time ECW Tag Team Champions, 2-time IWGP Champs, 2-time TNA Champs, 1-time NWA Tag Team Champs, 1-time WCW Tag Team Champs. Pro Wrestling Illustrated voted them the Tag Team of the Year back in 2001 and 2009 and named them the Tag Team of the Decade for the odds. Devon and Bubba Ray have had success everywhere they go and will continue to have success anywhere they decide to ply their trade. I always think that Bubba is probably going to end up in the office sometime. He's got a great mind for the business. He's great on the mic. He's an incredible worker. He brings an odd bit of the Japanese style from their stint over there, in that if you watch a New Japan match, you hear a lot of talking. If you don't understand Japanese, you might be thinking, that's very loud ring talk. No, they talk trash constantly, especially the heels will talk trash a lot. Bubba picked that up. Watch a current Dudley Boyz match, and he is just giving the business to his opponent, just telling them what he's going to do, how bad they are, how good he is, just talking trash nonstop. I won't be surprised to see these guys win the WWE tag belts again sometime in the near future before their career is up. I wouldn't be surprised if they left the company wherever they go for them to win tag gold. That is what the Dudley Boyz do, and they are great at it. Number 2, Edge and Christian. ENC are one of the most entertaining tag teams the wrestling business has ever seen. On the mic, in the ring, everything they do is just incredibly entertaining, always brings a smile to my face whenever they're on my TV. They were 7-time WWE Tag Team Champions. Wrestler Observer Newsletter named them the Tag Team of the Year back in 2000. Pro Wrestling Illustrated named the TLC 1 and 2 matches that they had with the Hardys and the Dudleys as their match of the year back in 2000 and 2001. I just love these guys. If you're not watching the Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness, you're missing out. Uh, just very funny, uh, in, incredibly odd cameos from just a diverse cast of characters that ENC just enjoy having around, it seems, and they, it really, everything they've ever done just shows how much these guys are, real life friends, have been since their childhood. They both dreamed of being in the WWE, and they both achieved that. And you can just tell that they enjoy working together no matter what they're doing in the wrestling industry. And they just entertain me no matter what they do. The Eliminators, The Kingdom, The Rock and Roll Express. Number 1, DGeneration X. If you watched my favorite wrestler video, you'd probably be able to guess who my favorite tag team was, seeing that Shawn and Hunter are my two favorites of all time. DGeneration X didn't have many tag title reigns. They only had one, in fact. No PWI Tag Teams of the Year or anything like that. Um, a lot of the reason for those accolades is they didn't really focus on tag teaming that first run that everyone loved, because Shawn was the man. He was the world title holder during much of that original incarnation. Hunter also was focusing on singles titles, so they really didn't focus on a tag title run. In that first reunion, they did, and they won them. I'm such a huge mark for Shawn and Hunter. I, like everyone, enjoyed that first incarnation, but I enjoyed the reunion, them facing the McMahons and the Spirit Squad, that whole deal. Um, I enjoyed the second reunion. Um, Even there at the end when they had Hornswoggle as their mascot, not a member of DGeneration X. Just want to point that out. There's a height requirement. Remember that. Hornswoggle, mascot. And I thought it was funny. So, my favorite tag team of all time, DGeneration X. And there you have it. My top 10 favorite tag teams of all time. Tell me who your favorite tag teams are in the comments section below. If you like the show, subscribe. Go over to facebook.com/the Family One Kickout and like the show there. Follow me on Twitter at Festus74. And tune in next time when I'll go over my top 10 most underrated wrestlers of all time. Until then, just remember, when life has you pinned, always kick out.